right, guys, I'm here, and you're looking at our Batman v Superman leaked trailer review. Well, because WB hasn't put out a high def trailer yet, so I figured, you know what? And at the time I'm putting this up, guys, remember, early in the day on Friday, the 17th, just so you guys have a timestamp. But they haven't put up a high def trailer, so I'm going to do my review of the leaked one because it's everywhere. It is practically everywhere. They try to take it off YouTube. It's all over the place. So you can watch it out there. But in tradition, I'm wearing my superior T-shirt. I know a lot of people gave me flack yesterday for a Star Wars because I didn't recognize Luke's voice. Let me just give you a quick one here. As a kid, I hated Luke. I loved Han Solo. So that's why. And also, the only voice of Mark Hamill that I know is the Joker. But anyway, let's get back to this. I just had to state that. This trailer is awesome. I don't care what anyone says. This was an awesome trailer. Granted, it was dark. It was bootleg. You can't really see much. Well, actually, you can. Sorry, you can see, but it's dark. It doesn't really give the full tone of it. But the trailer starts off with voices. You hear narrations from different characters in the movie, talking about one character says isn't it interesting that the most powerful man in the world is a figure of controversy. And then you hear Neil deGrasse Tyson. I think it's him saying that basically Superman has warped our perception of what our place in the universe really is. And then as you hear these voices, you also see different scenes. So you see there's a scene in Superman looks like he's holding the ICBM or a satellite or something. It looks like a rocket of some sort, and he lands and he's kind of like bracing it down. And then there's also a scene of Superman, and he looks like the festival, the Day of the Dead in Mexico, with people with the skull face, and the trailer basically relates that image of Superman is hated, he is loved, he's worshipped, and people don't trust him. So it's a mixture of things from Man of Steel, and I like that they've gone with this route because they've taken the first movie seriously and some of the consequences that have happened. And then you hear Lex's voice, and you hear basically of Jesse Eisenberg, and he says, "Now we talk." I'm paraphrasing, but basically his quote is, I'm sure somebody will put it down there. Is now we know the devil doesn't come from the hell beneath us. He comes from the sky. It's the way he delivers the line. It sounds like Jesse Eisenberg, but he delivers it very, very well. I mean, to the T. And then that imagery, there's more imagery of Superman like landing somewhere, and you see all the soldiers kneeling and bowing their heads. Like seriously, I mean, so they're really taking that whole point of like, you know what, if a demigod, basically that's what Superman is, shows up, how will people on the planet take it on the next level? Some people will hate him. People have talked about in filming they have man of murder signs and things like that. So I like that approach, and that's the first part of the trailer, and it stops. Then you hear Jeremy Irons' voice, aka Alfred, talk about how fear and I've forgotten the quote specifically, but fear and something else makes good men turn cruel. You see Ben Affleck's face. It's kind of fuzzy, that part of the trailer, but you see he's intense. They showcase the new bat suit in there, and then the music from Junkie XL. You can hear it just chime up in there. And there's a scene with Batman standing in like a great hallway or a cathedral, not cathedral, like a temple type setting with pillars, and there's graffiti on the pillars, and he's holding something in his hand and don't know what it is. And then you see the Batwing, and then you see the Batmobile. You see some guys trying to shoot at him, and there's explosions. And then you see your first clear shot of Batman like getting up, and Ben Affleck is massive, man. He's big. I mean, he really looks like he will beat the crap out of you. I mean, Superman's big, but Ben Affleck is massive in this. And then this shot of Batman on top of a tower, kind of like that iconic, like Batman, standing up somewhere high. And then it cuts to that scene from Comic Con, and you see him in the armored suit. His eyes lit up, and then it's raining, and Superman's in the sky, and he basically says, "Yeah, tell me, do you bleed?" And then Superman just lands poof, on the floor, and he goes, "You will." And then like it cuts off. Now, I mean, I was screaming like a little girl. I was like, "Yeah!" I I mean, it's good. I think it's going to be an awesome movie. But then again, we still have a year to it. There's a lot more trailers and stuff to come out. A couple of things to note. Now, a lot of people have talked about the voice in the trailer. It sounds a little bit robotic or automated. It looks like he's using like a voice scrambler and not necessarily his own voice into making that like raspy. Where are you? I'm Batman voice. That kind of thing. I'm fine. I'm fine with the voice. I'm fine with him using the automated scrambler. If he's an older Batman, or if he's just always used that, or maybe it's just a metal suit, we don't know. So I'm not gonna make assumptions. Either you like the voice now, or you hate it. They can always change that by the time the movie comes out. But that's the voice of Batman there. I like the way the trailer started with two different sides, where you heard Alfred narrating. Technically, I think it was narrating how Batman's become very just like hardcore in it's talking about fear, making good men cruel. So basically Batman, it's almost like a blunt object that just really pounds bad guys. And then you have Superman, who's going through this. He's going through a lot of things his dad told him that will happen. A lot of people in the first movie like, oh, why does Park Kent say this? But well, his Park Kent was basically saying that, well, not everyone in the world is going to love you when you come out and say, hey, I am, I'm Superman. And you know what? The truth in reality is, yes, that's how life is. I'm not saying that this movie is realistic, but if you put it in those terms, not everyone's gonna like you just because you're all powerful and you want to try and save the day. And Lex's line, I love that line in there. So like, we now know the devil doesn't come from hell beneath us; he comes from the sky above. I was like, yes. And you hear Holly Hunter, she says, power corrupt. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. So you hear all these things where everyone's vying for Superman at some point, and it kind of puts Superman almost as the bad guy in a sense in this movie. Not really a bad guy, but everyone's against him because maybe he might be a threat. The military, you've got Lex, you've got Batman on the other side who's like, what, I'm gonna take you out because I don't trust you, or I don't know who you are. I'm not even sure what it is. But that final confrontation with the mecha bat suit or the armor bat suit, and his eyes are lit up, and he's like, tell me, do you bleed? And he just lands. Poof. I was like, yes. I mean, it's on point, it's awesome. So I want to get your thoughts. What do you guys think? I know the full trailer isn't out. We'll do another one. We'll probably do a hangout once the full HD trailer comes out so we can talk about it, spend more time. But what are your thoughts on the Batman v Superman leak trailer? Let me know. And don't forget to like this video, share, favorite this video, subscribe to the channel, and always enjoy your entertainment.